Newcastle United beat Aston Villa 5-1 in a clash of Big Six gatecrashers, or pretenders, some might say. They're not really pretending because Newcastle finished top 4 last season, but I digress. Rob, what's your question, not mine? Were you impressed? And how about my boy Sandro Tonali?
I was impressed. They went about the game in the right way. They closed the ball down. They made Aston Villa played into their hands by trying to play out from the back when it wasn't really on to play out from the back.
If only they had an experienced coach.
Yeah, exactly. And Newcastle won the ball back in good areas. They played with a dynamism. Then Aston Villa tried to hold a high line when they were trying to get back in the game, and Newcastle broke that down. But to your question about Tonali, put in a magnificent performance. When he first went to Milan, I thought he was just a passer of the ball. Now he's a player that will also make forward runs. He'll win the ball back. He looks an athlete that's improved by about 25% over the last 2 years. Great performance from him. Now, back to Barcelona. They're linked with a loan move for Joao Cancelo. Gab, you like him, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
So do
I like skillful players. Mm-hmm. Imagine that. Now, can Barcelona... There's two actions, right? Mm-hmm. One is, do you then just turn Balde into a defensive player, and can you get away with Cancelo at right back? I think you probably can, because then you play Koundé and Araujo at center backs the way God intended, the way God made them, and you've got that a little bit. I think the other question, though, is, as ever with Barcelona, is
can they afford him? Yeah.
Can they afford them? Can they register him?
He's an outstanding player because he can play right side, he can play left side.
And I think he might have a different understanding with Xavi than he had with Pep. I mean, look, I still think Cancelo could help Manchester City right now, frankly. Yeah. If they could mend whatever's happened, come round to it, I think it would be mutually beneficial. Then you wouldn't have to go and spend all this money on the packet, because you know what? He can play central midfield. Yeah. He's basically a number 10. Yeah. But whatever. That's, it's above my pay grade. I'm not going to argue with the man who won the treble. Manchester United face Wolverhampton Wanderers in a few hours, but they'll do it without Fred, who was on his way to Fenerbahce for around £13 million. Robbo, does this leave them a little light in central midfield?
Casemiro. Bruno Fernandes can play in there. Eriksen is in there. Mm-hmm. McTominay can play in there. Mm-hmm. Menu can also play in there, the young player. Cobby. I mean, I would say that they're okay in that area. I wouldn't think they need to go and get somebody else.
Okay. And you can spend some of the funds maybe on getting another forward.
Exactly. Okay. Yes. That would be my decision if I was the manager, Erik ten Hag, but I'm not. A late Willian Jose goal gives Betis a 2-1 win away to Villarreal. But Gab, how about Isco playing his first game for quite some while? I think since November?
Mid-November, that's right. I loved it. I thought it was...
Did he play well?
On the show, he was fantastic. High energy, high quality, gives them a lift. When Fekir comes back, the prospect of the two of them together.
So what's he done over the last few months to get himself back fit? Because when I saw him play, probably in mid-November, he was slow, he couldn't get on the ball, he couldn't make things happen. He's just got himself fit and hungry again, is he?
I'm guessing Pellegrini got to him somehow. Realized the clock is ticking, and at his back he heard Time's winged chariot drawing near, and said, "Hey, I want to make my career, my talent count." Last show it was Ajax. This show it's Union Berlin. Juventus have told Leo Bonucci he's not wanted, and he keeps getting linked with clubs abroad. Can he do a job at the right club? Is it Union Berlin? I mean, you have a club like that, and like, yeah, look, we're the alternative hipstery club, and look, let's bring in this guy who is the establishment to come in, and he's old, and he's going to help teach our young defenders and inspire. Does that work?
Well, I'm not sure he's the player that teaches. I had a long conversation with a Dutch centre-half who said he played alongside two defenders. One helped him a lot, the other one didn't help him very much. Right.
And the one who helped him was Chiellini. Had a big nose.
Yeah. And the other one didn't help him too much and made it quite difficult. So I don't think he's that sort of character. He's a very good footballer in terms of his passing ability. He hasn't got a lot of pace, but he's decent in the air. Can he do a job? Of course he can still do a job, but it'll have to be at the right club, I would say. Now, Napoli are hoping to sell Zielinski to Al Ahly in the Saudi Pro League and use the money to sign Celta's Gabri Veiga. Gab, there's a problem though.
Yeah, so the problem is Zielinski. Zielinski has a year left of his contract. He's 29 years old. And
big part of Napoli winning the title.
It was a huge part, although you could also argue he was probably their third best central midfielder last year. Okay. But he was a huge part of it. He's 29 years old. He's a year left on his contract. Napoli figure, well, if we extend him, we need to give him a lot of money. Hey, look, why don't we let him go to Saudi, sell him, and then we get Gabri Veiga, who's younger, everybody's raving about. I think Rafa Benitez ran some interference as well on Napoli's behalf. Gabri Veiga is a buyout cause of 40 million. Napoli, we're hoping to get him for around 35 million. The problem is Zielinski's saying, like, Saudi Arabia, I'm not that keen. You know what? Maybe it's not just about money for me. I just won the title. I like it here. Good weather in Naples.
And he's been there a good few years now.
He's been there a few years. He's Polish. Maybe he likes pork products, which are not readily available in Saudi Arabia. Certainly the food is better. I would, no offense to people in Riyadh and Jeddah. In Naples, maybe he likes it more. Or maybe it's all just a negotiating ploy where he says, you know what, I don't appreciate it after all the years of service I've put into this club.
You now want to get rid of me.
You want to get rid of me in the season after we won the title. Whatever it is, he's been putting, look, this could all change. Maybe they put some more money on the plate or whatever. Maybe somebody else comes into him. But for now, he's saying, yeah, you know what? I'm a year away from free agency. I'm going to stick around and take my chances. And you know what? And if I don't leave, you can't buy my replacement, which means you got to play me, and I'll still be in the side.
Yeah, I can understand it.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.